where are you from?
Yeah, my name is Hamish Annan. I am a actor, writer, performance artist based in Tāmaki Makaurau, Auckland.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on what, like, that's quite a few different things that you do.
That is quite a few different things. I think to exist in the New Zealand art scene, you kind of have to have many strings to your bow. So I switch between performing in theatre, film, and TV, and I do quite a bit of voice work as well. And then I also coach actors. I write for stage and screen. So yeah, moving between all of those different areas, I guess.
Is it really interesting to move towards like coaching other actors as well? Like that must be a very different angle to take, but kind of nice because you can be empathetic. You understand what they're kind of going through with it all.
Yeah, I really enjoy it actually. I tend to work with a lot of younger actors, or people who haven't had a lot of training in acting technique, and so it's really gratifying to see when something kind of clicks and works for them. I know I've had a lot of training in so many different schools of thoughts, and some things have worked for me and some things haven't. So I think I've kind of picked up quite a bit over the years about what I would have liked to have had from teachers, and so I hope to pass that on to other people as well.
Can you describe your event to someone who was just walking in, like they didn't know what they were coming to, and they were about to walk into your performance? How would you describe that to them?
Yeah, so Access is a semi-interactive performance artwork exploring human connection and emotional vulnerability. And it's quite different to traditional theatre. So what people would see when they come in is not a theatre with a bunch of seats, but just a space with two chairs in the middle, and the audience can kind of stand or sit wherever they like around that space. And then once the show kind of gets underway, audiences are invited to come and sit opposite me and choose the kind of emotional experience that we have together. So whether they want a bit of grief from me, a bit of aggression from me, a bit of lust from me, a bit of happiness, that's always a fun one. They can choose that
Wow.
dynamic and then sit in that for as long as they like. So it's quite performance art, I guess. It lives in that kind of more conceptual realm, so it's quite different, and it's sort of a bit more of an experience that you sort of sit into and sort of see as it unfolds. So I don't really know what's going
Cool.
to happen sometimes each performance, because the audience in some ways determines the course of the show.
I mean, it must be an interesting experience to be even just looking a stranger in the eyes for that long. Like
Yeah,
that's
even
something we
that
don't really
is
do.
a lot. Totally. I think for me, I think the show is probably responding to most of our, like, I know a lot of my friends, their upbringing in New Zealand was emotions is either you shove them down, or you don't talk about them, or they're really only appropriate in certain contexts. And
Yeah.
so I think this is kind of, as I've sort of been thinking about the work, is almost a response to my own lack of emotional expression, maybe when I was younger. But I think because in the show I work physically, so I don't use memories, my own personal memories, or my own. I'm not imagining things to make myself generate the emotion. I'm triggering the emotion in my body, so it's really authentic, and it hits you like a ton of bricks when it comes at you.
Yeah.
But I think that allows me to work in a really safe way, because I think if I were drawing on a lot of really painful memories, certainly for those darker emotions, that would be really challenging. So at the end of it, I certainly feel quite tired,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I've got a lot of clear head space. I'm not sort of emotionally drained, so to speak, after it.
Why do you art?
I think I originally created work because I wasn't seeing the kind of things that I wanted to see back when I was at like high school and university. I was kind of like, yeah, these are fine, but I have all these ideas that I would think I would love to see on stage, and I think stage is such an interesting medium to do that in. Um,
Mm.
I'm really interested by the individual, but specific experience of one person and what that looks like, and really diving into that. So the show again is a one-on-one experience. I've written a lot of monologues in the past, and I think the specificity of diving into one person to me is really interesting, keeping that really clean and simple, and having kind of a really central image or idea that sort of is at the heart of it.
So then my last question would be, what does Dunedin Fringe mean to you?
Yeah, Dunedin Fringe has a really special place in my heart because I studied at Otago, and so I kind of went up through the theatre studies program there. Also, I studied psychology while I was there. You may see my psychology background in a lot of my work as well. I trained at Allen Hall Theatre originally, so I made a lot of work there. So it's been a few years since I've been there now, too many to count probably. I loved the kind of underground guerrilla sort of theatre scene in Dunedin, where it was just a bunch of kids basically making work and trying stuff out and going, that doesn't work, fine, and moving on. I'm really excited to return to Dunedin. It'd be lovely to see the old friends who are still down there, and yeah, just kind of reconnect with the audiences there, because you have such a kind of vibrant, literature and theatre and arts community down there. So yeah, I'm excited.